Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the All Things NBA from A to Z podcast, presented as always by Ball is Life. I'm Kris Pursiainen here alongside the analytics capper, Albert Nguyen, and Zak Noble in the building. We got the full crew in the house for today's discussion, which is about the start of the 2026 NBA season and whether or not Victor Wembanyama is a top 5 player in the league. Guys, let's get right into it. Your thoughts on the season thus far center around the tallest thought of them all, which is what you think of Wemby's start. I mean, listen, the Steph Curry and the Warriors are looking decent. The Orlando Magic are not after their big offseason acquisition. Knicks off to a fast start, even if it's not a great one. It's a fast one under new head coach Mike Brown. But the biggest takeaway for, I think, everyone in the world thus far has been, holy crap, this guy is going to do things on a nightly basis that we considered impossible, and it's going to numb us to them. Like, these aren't going to be highlights anymore when he reaches over like Space Jam and just dunks over 4 people. What do we make of Wemby's start to the season? I think I'm terrified. I think that's how I'd put it.
I'm excited for the Spurs fans. They're 4-0. I think that's the most important statistic. I know individually that Victor Wembanyama has been great, and we'll get into whether he's top 5 or not. But I'm excited for that team because they've gone through some rough patches in the last few years. But starting this year off 4-0, and they've all been, basically blowouts. I think they by far have the biggest point differential now after a week. I mean, it's small sample size, but 16.5 points is a lot in today's NBA. And the thing with Wemby, and I would love to hear your thoughts, is we've always not always, but we know what he's capable of. Like, his ceiling is probably something we've never seen before, but can he do it over the course of a long season? Can his body last 80 plus games plus the playoffs? Those are questions that I need to see be answered before I personally can put him top 5.
All right, hinting at the take. Zach, start of the year, San Antonio Spurs. This guy Victor Wembanyama seems pretty good.
Yeah, he just went out on a limb and basically spoiled the whole pod right now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm excited for Spurs fans. They deserve a good team. They don't have too much around them other than these Spurs. And Pop, I mean, he was just kind of hanging around and waiting for him to be gone, type of thing. And I was sick of it as anybody. But Mitch Johnson has been a revelation. I've been impressed with what he's done, and I didn't expect them to be 4-0, even though I'm the biggest pessimist when it comes to early season sample size. Like, I like to talk about them; they're fun, but they don't weigh too heavily on me. So that's a little foreshadowing there.
All right,
but I've been super impressed with Wemby.
Well, let me stop you and kind of follow up on something you said, which is you've been impressed with Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson. And if you've had any social interaction in social media, parasocial interaction with Mitch Johnson this season, it's been the video that's gone around of his chat in the timeout huddle with the Spurs lineup. It was impassioned. It was fiery. Zach, that video caught me off guard a little bit. I guess my like funny 3/4 serious takeaway was like, oh, now I get why there was no coaching search. It's because they had this guy who's just a natural born leader coming up in the building under a coaching staff and a tree, as part of a tree, as a branch that they really like. So what has impressed you about Johnson, man? Is it something on the court? Is it something off the court? Why would you utter the sentence, I've been impressed by Mitch Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, I like his personality. I think his leadership's there already, and he seems comfortable, seems like a natural fit. And it's not the job of having an all-time prospect and a high expectations of a roster right off the bat. I mean, normally these young head coaches, they just get these terrible rosters and they don't get really. It's just whatever happens. You're hoping they develop, and there's no expectations. And I just think he's living up to it right now. And seems to. He's kind of like got the Joe Mazzulla, personality where, they're quiet killers, but behind the scenes, they're loud and
not so quiet.
They know how to use their temperament to the best ring. But like from an X's and O standpoint, I've been impressed with the players. That he's using together and the combinations, the rotations. I've probably watched
They've got a lot of
two
guys.
full games of the Spurs. I missed at least one. Dylan Harper, the fact that he's coming out and looking like a winning player right off the bat, there's not too many guys I don't think should be out there right now and not getting the minutes they are. Who was it the other day that said, really talked up the Luke Cornett Wemby pairing? And I'm like, really? You think this is like, and he seemed dead serious about it. I forget it on
Cornett is solid
podcast or something. But oh God, you're backing this guy up. Sure, as a 12th man, 10th man, whatever.
12th man.
But to actually have him as a talking.
He's a rotational piece.
Cornett, really?
He's a rotational piece. Victor and him ran
on a championship team. Yeah, he's
pick and roll. They ran pick and roll in preseason with each other. Like that's a wrinkle. That's a 4-5 PNR. That's interesting. He does not like Cornett doesn't waste people's time with a handle or anything. He's just very good at what he does. What like 3 days ago, who was it they were playing that he had like 14 and 12 and he had 4 dimes? That's not, I'm not like laughing at that when he does that in 34 minutes.
He's definitely
solid.
He's definitely a rotational piece, a top 8, top 9 guy. I think he averages the eighth most minutes on that team without De'Aaron Fox. So if Fox comes back, then he's going to drop to like 9 or 10. But
it was against the Pelicans in overtime. He had 14, 12, and 4.
He's an NBA player, boys.
6 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 4 from the line, 9 offensive rebounds. Say that again. 9 offensive rebounds in 35 minutes. That is not a 12th man, dude. That's a backup center on a good team, on a great team.
And they don't have any centers either. It's just Wemby. So he actually plays a very.
You're acting like he's Isaiah.
Hartenstein?
He's way too important than he needs to be for that team. That's a big part of what I'm worried about, because I still don't think this is the roster of the Boston Celtics where they can just make this guy look incredibly good the whole year.
But the Celtics didn't have Victor Wembanyama. This is not you're not getting a backup for Wemby that's going to win 6th man of the year. You're getting a backup for Wemby that's going to dominate their 14 to 18 minutes a game. Luke Cornett.
Oh, this guy's going to win 6th man of the year now?
What Wi-Fi are you connected? I just said that's not what you're looking for. This you don't need that. You need someone who can back.
We're saying the exact opposite of I think how you analyze that. I think what we're saying, Zach, is that Cornett is a very serviceable backup, whether it's Wemby or not. But with Wemby, I think there's more of an importance there, because you don't want Wemby to average 40 minutes a game. You need 15 to 20 from Cornett, and he is more than capable of doing that. But I think, Chris, you're a resident trade scenario guy. Dylan Harper is great. Stephon Castle is great.
I agree and I like Albert's tone
They're
better.
4-0 without De'Aaron Fox. Does that make Fox expendable?
Man, I think anyone is expendable when Victor Wembanyama's on your roster. Like, I think getting the best team possible around that guy, for that guy, with that guy is priority number 1, 2, and 3. With that established, I think Dylan Harper looks like a damn franchise guard. He looks like an absolute stud to start the season. And I've been encouraged by Carter Bryant too, but Dylan Harper looks really good, and he looks like a future star. He looks like a future all-star. He's a 6'5" point guard who can play at his own pace. He controls the tempo of the game. He can get into the paint at will. That's terrifying, and that's really great for Wemby. And it also kind of sounds a little bit like a description of De'Aaron Fox. So, bless you. Great catch with the mute. That was like right on. Look at that. Look at the clutch out. So Dylan is really good. His skill set fits really well with Wemby. De'Aaron Fox is better. His skill set fits really good with Wemby. I am not rushing to trade either one of them right now. That said, a team like the Houston Rockets wants to get on the phone and say, "Hey, you want to hold this Freddie salary? We'll take De'Aaron, and we will also give you draft capital." If I'm the Spurs, I'm jumping on that because I'll take the veteran in Van Vliet. I'll take him on his new contract. And that doesn't stop you from starting Dylan over him or starting both of them. I think starting both of them would kick ass. You have Dylan and Fred sharing ball handling duties, allows Victor to get up and down the court, stay closer to the rim, and pop out for threes instead of bringing the ball up himself. I think that would be a great move for them to hold on to Van Vliet and then have draft capital to trade maybe Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell and a couple of those first-round picks, maybe the one they got from Minnesota for, and it was really great that Minnesota traded that first-round pick for someone they value so dearly and don't play Bones Highland over in Rob Dillingham. Maybe they take that draft pick, and maybe they take a couple other first-rounders and they go get someone else. What about Lauri Markkanen? We talked about Lauri to the Spurs on this show. So that's kind of my thinking is I would be willing to trade Fox if I were them. I don't think Dylan looking good makes Fox expendable. I think everyone is expendable when Wemby's your guy and Dylan is like having a rookie quarterback in the NFL that can play. All of a sudden you have some cap flexibility. You don't need to be paying the veteran $45 million a year. They gave him more than that on the extension. So I would say they should be willing to trade anyone, but I would want to keep Dylan more than I'd want to keep Fox. And maybe that's bias. Maybe that's New Jersey Hooper bias, but it all kind of comes down to also how good you think Wemby is right now. And that's where I want to go next is how good do we think Wemby is right now? Do we think all three of Jokic, SGA, and Giannis are better players than him? I will say yes for now and leave it there. You guys, Jokic, SGA, Giannis, can we get three birds stoned at once? Do we all agree these three guys are better than Wemby?
I would take those three guys right now. And again, I kind of alluded to
this second. If Game 7 was tomorrow, my next week, Wemby might be 7-9. We might need to revisit. But if Game 7 was tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, those three guys are not only great and MVP, caliber players every single year, but they're very, very durable. And I think that's something I want to focus on is like you want guys that, can play the full season and can play another 30 games in the playoffs. We still have yet to see that. We know that Wemby's ceiling is, like I said earlier, it could be the highest we've ever seen, right? His skill level, the size that he's at, the length, the versatility. I mean, he was crossing over Derek Lively and Anthony Davis in Game 1 like it was nothing. Those two are arguably, the best defensive backcourt. They make up the best defensive backcourt in the league. And Wemby was toying with them, and we know what he can do. I just need to see it. And again, that's just the old guy on his front yard, because I see all these really hyped up young players every single year. And I'm not saying Wemby is just a flash in the pan or anything like that, because I do think
definitely not.
Yeah, he is completely different from that. And he's going to end up, if he does play 15 plus years of 75 games a year, then he's going to end up being one of the greatest players ever, period. But I just need to see at least 1 year of that, because he was on this trajectory last season as well, where he was going to win Defensive Player of the Year, most likely a first or second team All-NBA, depending on where you put him against Jokic. But then he got hurt. He didn't have enough games. He didn't meet the minimum amount of games to get any of those awards. So again, I need to see it for a full season first.
Okay. Zach, those three guys better than Wemby for you?
Yeah, I mean, even if you're just looking at the 4 games so far, it's for sure SGA and Jokic. If we're literally just not thinking about anything in the past and just based on these 4 games, you still got to give SGA and Jokic the nod. I mean, you could argue Wemby's third there, but based on production, how they're looking, who they've played, that sort of thing. But
Giannis
I
is
don't
averaging
anoint
36 and
players.
16. 36 and 16, by the way, Giannis.
He's having the 2018, or was it 27? No, 2018 Bron, right?
But then if you take out anything in the past, like if you're just asking me the question, who's the three best players? Yes, those are the three best players in the world right now, and you got to factor in the past a little bit. I also throw Luka and Ant in there, and the list goes on and on. Like Wemby, it's 4 games. Okay. Yeah. He's looking on track, sure, to be a top 5 player. If he does exactly this, if he goes undefeated 82-0, and they're 8-0, if he just keeps in the top 3 or 4 in the West and puts up these numbers. But yeah, it all comes down to durability and games played. Like he's proving he's got the ability to be up there, and small
I
sample
want to
size.
have
Like
him. I want to put him over
he
Ant
hasn't
right
proven
now.
over
So bad.
for one game, sure, but he's got to do something in the playoffs. Like I will never anoint a player that over another player that's performed in the playoffs yet. Like
Zach,
that's
is
semi
Wemby
close. I
is
mean,
Wemby better than
it's
Jalen
one
Brunson?
thing saying no, absolutely not.
All right, that's fair.
He's consistent.
He's consistent.
Zach's
He's
consistent.
consistent.
Jalen Brunson,
Is Wemby
man.
better than Donovan Mitchell?
No, he's not. Can he be? Can we have this question in like 30 games maybe? Like he hasn't had one full season better than Donovan Mitchell yet. Like his rookie year was an all-time rookie year, sure. Like a top 15 rookie year, maybe. Am I being crazy on that? Top 30
No.
maybe all-time rookie year. He played 71 games. What people don't realize is his defense has improved a lot. Like his numbers were great defensively, but like aesthetically and the way you're supposed to play defense and being able to quick twitch, get in front of multiple guys and not just gaudy stats. And he's gotten way better on both ends. His handle has been incredible. My favorite stat about Wemby right now is going from an 18-foot average shot last year to 11 this year. His blocks compared to other teams is like top 10 in the league, like just his blocks alone. The guy can do it all, sure, but at the end of the day, it's going to be so hard to keep that frame on the court. I mean, look at Embiid. I mean, Embiid, we were lucky to see a couple full years, but this guy definitely has a higher ceiling than Embiid ever did, just because of his handle and his youth. And I mean, he's got a couple inches on him. So that's where, I mean, his athleticism overall is definitely more, and he takes better care of his body. So I'd say there's a lot of reasons why his ceiling's higher than Embiid. But let's not get it twisted. Embiid's ceiling, we weren't.
Zach, like, let me cut you off because it's clear that you have a believe it when you see it type of mentality. You're not concerned that you're not going to see it. You just want to see it. I'm curious in testing the balance of this. Who is the best player, or who are the best couple of players that you are comfortable putting Wembanyama over? A couple guys that stand out to me as almost creating tiers would be like, Anthony Edwards is one. It's Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Julius Randle, Lauri Markkanen. Like you said before, you have to see something in the playoffs. Like Tyler Hero has shown stuff in the playoffs. Like Wemby's over him. We all agree, and it's nothing against Tyler to say that. So where do you kind of draw that line? Who are the best couple guys that Wemby is better than?
Yeah, no, that's a very fair question. I like how you worded it. I mean, you got to be realistic because the guy's one game peak has been insane, and even right now a 4-game peak or whatever, what have you. But like, there comes a point where, to me, that top 15 threshold in the league is like when things start getting real playoff wise. Like for
they
me,
get
that's
serious.
when yes, that's when playoffs matter. When you're getting into the conversation of a top 10, top 7, top 5, top 3, when you're climbing that, the playoffs matter more and more to me. But yeah, I mean, you could argue because obviously you have to do this for the MVP, and when we got a guy this young in the MVP combo, and there's a good chance he's there all year. I mean, but I also don't think the Spurs are going to finish in the top 3 in the
Right. Me
West.
neither. Me neither.
Okay. So that's fair. Like, we're not completely buying this 4-0 start by any means. But to answer your question, yes, he's better than Julius Randle. Of course, he's better than Bam Adebayo. You go by the guys that have easily sucked in the playoffs, and like they decline in the playoffs. I mean, for one, but like Jaylen Brown's a great conversation. Then
I think it's just clearly Wemby.
Correct. I agree. I absolutely agree.
So then it's not a great conversation. It's a short one.
How about Karl Anthony Towns?
Wemby, for sure.
That's another great one, and I would go Wemby.
Because a lot of it, which is tough, because a lot of it's projecting. But like when you're asking,
yeah, we're objectively projecting what Wemby will look like in a playoff setting. We don't know.
And yeah, but like we're not having a top 15 players poll right now, and where like last year, like when I do my player polls at the end of every year, that mostly based on the year, but yes, the past has some sort of valuation in that. And he came in around like somewhere between 10 and 17. I'd have to go look. But like, do I think he's for sure a top 10 player right now? Absolutely. But like guys like 5 through 9 are not better than him? Not really. You know, like it's really tough to say he's better than Donovan Mitchell right now, who led his team to 60-plus wins last year and in the playoffs. Like, yes, would I rather have Victor to start my franchise with? Absolutely. But give him the same rosters, high-stakes playoff game, I'd still probably taking Donovan Mitchell one game. Like, it's a different game. It's a different atmosphere. Like, yes, he's better than Kevin Durant right now, because I don't think very highly of this version of Kevin Durant. Steph Curry's a great debate. Like, I'm still slightly taking Steph, but this is not.
I'm taking Steph.
Okay, I like how confident you are in that. But I mean, Al, what do you think, Steph or Wemby? Like,
in a one-game playoff setting, it has to be Steph Curry.
It's Steph.
I think in a one-game playoff setting, it's Steph over everybody at this point. Just what we've seen in the Olympics, what we've seen in the playoffs.
I don't think
it's and I'm not a Steph guy. You know that. You guys know that I'm not a big
Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Curry, to me is my top 4 in the league. I do think I kind of just want to start saying Wemby 5 in preparation, but it's Luka. Luka, like Zach was, I think, about to be saying, is number 5. To be able to carry that offensive load on a regular season, on a playoff team, and deep into the playoffs, like, yeah, it's Luka, but it's getting close. It's getting close. Like Luka, Brunson, Ant, Mitchell, you know, these are all guys that you probably have to, like, in quotes, put over Wemby because of what they've shown in the playoffs. But then you realize you don't have to do anything. We're
Devin
projecting.
Booker, yes, but we can also say this because we know Devin Booker has to have a perfect roster in order to get that team into the playoffs and do something in the playoffs. Like Wemby, we don't know what type of roster he needs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think he is the roster. I think
this is a great roster, though. Let's not get it twisted. This is a great roster.
I completely disagree. The Spurs roster, I think it's. I don't think the fit is there. They've got a million wings. I don't love the fit. I don't love when Fox comes back, what they have with Fox, Harper, Castle, and Wemby, and Sohan coming back, and Vassell and Keldon Johnson, and Carter Bryant, and Harrison Barnes. It's a little too much. It's a little too much. They can consolidate. They should consolidate. Even if they lose the trade by value, that's why they went and got that pick, for the Rob Dillingham draft selection. They have these little sweeteners. So if I'm them, I'll bring this back again. I'm looking to take Vassell and Castle. And get myself some, or honestly, maybe Keldon and Castle and draft capital, but like barely any, and see if that gets me Lauri Markkanen. Like if Keldon Johnson and Steph Castle with no draft capital gets you Lauri, you have to take that trade in a second if you're the Spurs. I would even go as far as to give up, if they want one first round pick, if they'd like say it's just that Minnesota pick, for example, maybe try to get them to take another one. But I would give up one first round pick. I would do Keldon, Castle, and one first. If it got Lauri on my team with that extension he's got, like, I'd be in.
Oh, I'd be all in. But, I mean, I don't think Utah's in any hurry to get them. I think they're believing in this team till they're not. Team's looking decent. Keontae George is still shooting like shit, so that's something. But to your point, I agree it's not a perfect roster, but it's a good roster. And it's not like a Devin Booker early in his career type roster. That's all I was saying. And perfect rosters in the NBA, the only one that really exists right now is the Thunder. Like, for a perfect roster around their star, who else can you argue that's in that mold? I mean, maybe the Knicks.
I think we thought Boston had a perfect roster the year before. I think whoever wins
No, their
is who we
bench
think
wasn't
has
perfect.
a perfect roster. Like, it's not about, I think, saying I don't like the Spurs roster and reducing it to no one's roster is perfect. It's like, yeah, of course. The point is, how close can you get? And like, I look at a roster like the Rockets roster kind of similarly to how I look at the Spurs roster, where it's like, I like the talent you guys have. There's a bit too many blue marbles in that jar and too few red marbles in that jar. We gotta even it out. Like, I think the Rockets need a guard. I think the Spurs need to consolidate at wing and forward. Do I think those two could go together? Is that why I brought up a Van Vliet deal? Maybe a little bit. But also, like, I find it hard to believe that we're going to look back fondly on this Spurs roster once they make upgrades. Like, I don't think anyone is going to be clutching their pearls over Vassell and Sohan or Keldon Johnson. Or some people will definitely be clutching their pearls over Stephon Castle. But also just like, I don't know, keep Castle with Harper and Wemby and have him in between. You got to then move Fox. And it's like, do you think that's that big of a problem when you have Wemby on the roster to just go do something else? Like, I don't hate a pivot. And maybe Houston could be a great one. Fox being from there and stuff, right? But like, we'll see. I don't love the roster construction. I want to know, Zach, let's put this to the test here. How good are the Spurs? Let's totally overreact. Who in the West could they beat the Clippers in a playoff series if Kawhi and Harden and everyone is healthy? Like, I kind of want to say the Clippers would figure it out. And beat them.
I think they need Bradley Beal to be somewhat competent of a player in order to be the Clippers we think they can be. But, like, I still think the Clippers right now are better than the Spurs. The Clippers' best game so far, I mean, Kawhi looked very, very good. I mean, Kawhi is very, very good, and Harden's just good, or even good to great. It's tough to beat that. I mean, especially with Zoo being a great defensive anchor. They have everything on that team. It's just Bradley Beal's their wild card right now that I haven't seen any flash of. Al, do you think Golden State is better than San Antonio? Because I do. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, in a playoff 7-game series, I would take both those teams,
I'm taking the Warriors.
the
Yeah.
Warriors and the Clippers above the Spurs. And again, that's because we just don't know. And I think Chris makes a good point. Although we like some of these individual young pieces on San Antonio, the match of Wemby may not be the perfect fit, right? It's just because he's so good that he's covering up some of those, you know, shortcomings. But Clippers, from a matchup standpoint, it's not only Kawhi and Harden, but Wemby is unstoppable. I think we all can agree with that. But he would have to be on his A game to go against Zubac and Brook Lopez and those guys, because they have a lot of size in the Clippers. I think San Antonio would do better against the Warriors just because the Warriors are undersized. But you had the Steph Curry factor, who he beat France by himself, right, in that fourth quarter. So I mean, it's definitely something that we know Steph can do. So again, we just have to see it in a series. I think the 4-0 start is very exciting for, you know, that fan base and for all the Wemby fans around the world. But I think it's still a big ask for them to win, I'd say, 45 games. I don't think they'll get to 50 wins.
I think 45 is a perfect number, Al. That's what I thought of them going into the season, was 43 to 46 win team. I think they'll be better when Fox is back. I don't think it'll be as simple as, however good they are right now, add De'Aaron Fox to that, and then they'll be that much better. Like, I think they'll be a little bit better. I think there's going to be stuff to figure out, things that, you know, kinks to iron out. Really quick, like, do you guys agree with me that, like, my overreaction of Dylan Harper 100% has all-star guard potential is not an overreaction? Like, you know, especially taking pre-draft evaluation into consideration. Like, does he not look really, really advanced and polished, to use Zach's favorite word for his age? And does he not look like he has like that magic wand in his hands where he controls the tempo of a game? He gets into the paint at will. He's scoring catch and shoot threes, pull up mid range. Like, I feel like I'm turning into ball don't stop talking about this guy. Like, where are your counters? Where are your post moves? But he's doing it. He has post moves. He did it. He's scoring off 2 feet. Like, this is like I just want to be like, this is like 6'5" Jalen Brunson without the shooting accuracy that Brunson has, the elite shooting accuracy that Brunson has, and without the handle that Brunson has, which is really tight and really effective.
Your question is
that's terrifying.
Guard. Yeah, your question is
all NBA. Even, like, I think Dylan Harper has all-star lock, all NBA potential. I'll lock him in to make an all-star game right now, at least once in his career. Like, it's going to happen. He looks insane.
Yeah, I don't think that's an overreaction at all. And I think you're right in terms of the tempo. And I like the fact that you comped him with Jalen Brunson, because the one thing about being a polished young guard, they're both from NBA pedigree. I think the fact that they were trained in that setting, you know, they don't have to be the most athletic, they don't have to be the fastest or biggest, but they know how to play the game because of, you know, their upbringing. And I think Brunson's just like that with his dad Rick, and then Dylan's just like that with his dad Ron. So, like, I feel like they have, you know, a great advantage there. And then they have
the coach in Dylan's family is his mom.
Yeah,
true. She was on the bench when he was in high school, as an assistant coach. Maria is the brains of the operation there.
But the question is, how good is he if he didn't have Wemby, right? That's hard to decipher, because right now he has the luxury. He has the luxury of playing.
He has a huge backstop. And if LaMelo Ball were on a different team and he were on the Hornets with Khan and Brandon Miller and whatever, like, yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't have as many great flashes, but he'd have great flashes. He would look good anywhere. The pace he's playing at, the control he has over the tempo of the game. I'm very in on Dylan Harper. I'm at the risk of being irresponsibly high on him, and just like making guarantees and saying things. Like, obviously there's so many variables and factors and this, that, but like, man, does he look really, really polished for a rookie.
So I want to say this. When you brought it up earlier, it seemed like a ball don't stop hot take, and just like, it was crazy. Like, just the way you said it, like emphatically, like he's going to be there this year or next year. Now, that's
I
why
didn't
we
say
have
that.
these.
I didn't say this year or next
No,
year.
that's how
No,
it came across. But
you said that. I didn't say that.
but like that was the tone and the excitement, and which is all great. And I'm glad we're having this conversation now. And I want to say this: yes, we all thought this expectations when he got drafted that high, and by his college tape and the potential, the physical attributes he has. I personally, his first 4 games have been solid. He looks good. He looks the part out there. You can say he looks very polished for a rookie. I agree to that. But like nothing in this 4 games has led me to believe more than I did before the season. Okay. Plenty of guards have great rookie years. I mean, plenty of guards can show me some things, have the body.
I think it's the opposite, man. Guards are the position that has the worst rookie years. Like they look the worst coming into the league. I know there's the Michael Carter Williams of it all, where it's like, hey, we've seen guys have breakout rookie seasons and then decline, but I think that's the exception. That's not close to the norm. We see mostly guards come in and struggle to start. Like LaMelo Ball looked awful when he started in the NBA because all he could do was make flashy passes, and it's like
rookies in general are awful. But
yeah, man.
And yes, he's not awful. No, like that he hasn't shown rookie awfulness yet. No, but like I still stand by the fact that nothing he showed me. It's just something that I need to way more see it to believe it than what we're talking about with Wemby is what I'm saying. Like,
sure,
his role means absolutely nothing for what it needs to be and will become. I mean, if you're talking about trading De'Aaron Fox, it's sure as fuck going to be a lot different than it is now.
Yeah, but Fox isn't playing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean,
so then not right? Am I confused? Am I what am I mixing up here? Fox isn't playing right now, and then if they trade Fox and they get stuff back, is Harper's role not pretty similar? Obviously, he'll play more minutes.
They're not using him the way he's going to be used, regardless. Right now is mainly what I'm getting at.
Okay,
I will give you this: his usage is much higher than I thought it would be. 25% usage percentage. I would have guessed about.
Turn that tape on. Turn that tape on. Come on now.
You might have a little something on me there.
Turn that tape on. Al, in short, Dylan Harper. Did you watch much? Have you seen any of him this regular season, or is you gone off summer league?
No. I watched a couple of Spurs games, and I think he's definitely been impressive not because of his numbers or anything like that. I'm more impressed with the pace that he plays with. I think that is a lot of coaching and a lot of just knowing the game from a very young age. And I think the fact that I think he and Stefan Castle averaged the same amount of assists after 4 games, but Castle has like 7 turnovers per game, whereas Dylan Harper is taking care of the ball. And I think that's a really big tell, in my opinion, that he can play NBA level point guard duties. And as he gets more confident in that role and more confident as a player in the NBA, he's only going to get better and look more for his shot. So I do think it's a huge advantage to play with Wemby. I do think it's a huge advantage there, but I would take nothing away from him, because I think he's had the second best rookie week so far, right? It's Edgecombe and then
it's
him,
VJ
right?
and Harper right now, man.
It's Edgecombe and then him, and then
Cooper has a lot on his plate. Cooper is getting a lot put on his plate early on. It's a little much, so I think it's too much on the plate.
I still like Cooper's 1 game more than
it's out of necessity with him.
Cooper's 1 game was probably second to Edgecombe's 36-point game, but Cooper followed that up on the second night of a back-to-back with a 2.2 rebound, 2 assist game. So the most consistent, the most consistent I would say is Edgecombe, then Harper. and then Cooper will round out my top 3. And again, that's just after 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, 4 games, but like, dude, Harper, I'm very in on this kid early on. All right, let's wrap with this. We talked about Steph, we talked about Shea and Giannis and Jokic. It seems like we all kind of agree Wemby isn't top 5 just yet. That he's not top 5 just yet in the NBA, but that we also think he'll be there very soon. So let's make it simple to close the episode out. What will it take for you to have him in the top 5? If he goes the entire month of November, averaging 32 points and 3.8 blocks a game, is that enough? If he does what he's doing through December, and we're sitting at January 1st, 2026, and he's been the best player in the league through this season to that point, through those first few months, is that enough to say this guy's probably going to, when we get to the playoffs, probably be able to do this? Like what will change for you guys? Because like, I think I'm at the point where he just literally needs to qualify for the NBA playoffs and then like win his team like 1 game in it.
But who does he kick out for you if that happens? I mean,
that's a good question. No, that's a good question.
Luka and Ant. So Luka and Ant are the guys.
So let's say hypothetically, we say the Spurs make the playoffs and they get gentlemen swept, right? 5 games, they get gentlemen swept, but Luka makes the Western Conference Finals. You're knocking out Luka there?
Dude, the 2-way, like, it feels a little bit like Ohtani Judge, where it's like, man, Judge is so elite. But Ohtani is also really elite, and he's elite at 2 things. That's really hard to kind of level out. You have to look at results. You have to look at what team is around them, how much blame you want to, dole out and divide up. I'm probably comfortable going Wemby over Luka because it's not.
I mean, that Lakers roster isn't much better than this.
Yeah, but it's not like Luka's won a championship or something for us to. If Wemby matches him with a conference finals run, then you can kind of project and say, hey,
conference finals, he could be the best player in the league this year.
Luka made a finals, of course, but Wemby is just in year this and that, and like I can kind of see myself fudging the numbers and just being like, yeah, you know what, this guy is top 5.
I think if Wemby makes the Western Conference Finals with that roster, I'm ready to put him top 2, right? But I think the hypothetical is he makes the playoffs and then loses in the first round. It just depends on how he loses, I guess. I mean, if he's going to average 40 and 20 in a first round series loss, I mean, that's not on him, right? At the end of the day, we have to see what he does in that playoff format. I would hope the NBA teams are going to be able to scheme against Wemby a lot better in the playoffs, right? Like I just don't want to give him the throne already without being like truly challenged. And he's not going to be, defenses are not going to really scheme against him in a regular season. He's going to continue just to put up these gaudy stats. And if he stays healthy, he's going to be a top all NBA performer. But I just want to see him in a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get way more physical for him. I mean, guys are trying to get some cardio right now. I mean, nobody's busting ass like too incredibly. I've loved the play style so far. I mean, I think guys are playing hard. Faster earlier, better than normal. I mean, I've been saying this for the last couple of years because of the in-season tournament, but I don't think it has that much of a impact on the way these guys are playing. I just think as that tournament comes along, it definitely matters. But right now, I'm not going to say it has much of an impact on that. But yeah, he's got a good chance right now with Luka and Ant both. I mean, I mean that's going to help his cause. It's literally, I mean, a lot of the survival of the fittest. I mean, coming down to the end, like if he finishes like let's say just a top 5 seed, top 6 seed, and he's top 5 in the MVP conversation, makes All NBA second team or something. Yeah, he's going to be right there on the cusp of it. Like those are the things that I mean need to happen, and what I think this roster is capable of to help him do the things team wise that need to happen too, and become an impact winning player because you need help with that as well. I think he's got the talent around him to be as high as like a 2 or a 3 seed. Absolutely. But
this year?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Nah.
I mean, the only
Nuggets,
team
Thunder, Warriors, Rockets, locked.
I think the only lock is OKC to finish above the Spurs right now.
Denver is not a lock to finish above the Spurs?
Not a lock. Give me 75 games of Wemby. When does Fox come back?
How many games of Jokic?
When does Fox come back?
Enough. If Fox comes back, then Wemby has his Jamal Murray.
November 2nd, he's expected. So
where's Aaron Gordon? Where's Cam Johnson? Like this is not a debate. This is not debatable. There is no chance that the Spurs finish over the Nuggets in the standings. There's no chance. You don't even think there's a great chance. You're just leaving the door cracked open,
right?
So you can slither on through there if it happens. I'm not standing for it. I'm not letting it happen.
Some bullshit there.
That's BS. That's BS, and it's not happening. And there's no chance. There's no chance. I'll bet anything. No chance. No chance.
To me, is 90%, 85% or greater, and I think there's a 25% chance the Spurs can finish in the top 3 or 4. And
wow.
20 I think there's a 40% chance they finish in the top 6, that's for sure. Maybe I'd even go higher than that. Fox is coming back, and I like their depth.
And then they'll still not be
Luke Cornett's an amazing 7th, 8th man.
Yeah. 8th, 9th. Yeah.
You guys weren't talking that way about Cody Zeller, Myers Leonard.
Because they're not that good.
Hey, Luke Cornett is.
Cody Zeller? Are you dead ass?
His peak's definitely better than this Luke Cornett.
There's 2 Americas, man. I just like what I don't even know what planet.
Oh my
what
God.
planet that analysis is from? Who gives a
America's
shit?
Pod's coming up next. Stay tuned.
Listen. Let me close with this. If the Spurs finish above the Nuggets in the Western Conference standings, I will give away a jersey to any listener who comes back and reminds me of this and say, Dyson Daniels, Atlanta Hawks in red, or flag, white Mavs or blue or whatever, I don't care. You let me know, and I will. This is good for one jersey. This is not anyone who brings this recording back. Not that it will matter, because this recording won't matter because the Spurs are not finishing above the Nuggets. But if they do, I'm so confident that I'm willing to blow like $50. So if you hear this and you remember this and it happens, cash out. I will allow one person to cash out. I will post proof of purchase on social media so that you other mongrels can't try and cash out on free jerseys out of
this
it.
This is the Luke Cornett Pod.
This is the Luke Cornett Pod. Thanks for listening. Sponsored as always by Ball is Life. Tune in next time or don't. But if you want to make that decision yourself, you can at our Spotify, at our YouTube, at our Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere. You just got to find us. You can watch or listen on Spotify or on YouTube. You can just listen on Apple Pods because they don't have a video interface. But yeah, that's basically our thoughts on the start of the NBA season summed up. Is who gives a shit about everything else? Because Victor Wembanyama looks like if Hakeem and Ralph Sampson both did a fusion dance and then did it again with CJ McCollum. So We'll see how this turns out. Maybe he'll be 8'4" by the next time we record. But until then, for Al, for Zach, I'm KP saying so long. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a thumbs up, leave a 5-star rating, and we'll talk to you next time.